From the Scottish borders to North Lincolnshire, the Mountain Rescue Team from RAF Leeming are at an hour's notice to move all year round. Training here in the Peak District, they're practising evacuating a casualty off the mountain. They often work alongside civilian rescue teams ready for call-outs. Already, they've had 6 this year.
Basically, we've just practiced casualty extraction off the crag. When it's a little bit tricky for us to carry the stretcher off the crag, we use a system there today, which is a guiding line, enable us to keep the stretcher off the ground and to extract it to the bottom of the crag.
Last year, the team was scrambled 15 times, most to help missing walkers and those injured on the peaks. There are 8 permanent staff and dozens of volunteers from across the station. Many have been involved for years.
I've been to many aircraft crashes and quite a few missing people and injured people. Would you believe I've never had to do this for real, although we've trained for it many times and we try to train for the worst case scenario. I fortunately have never had to do such a rescue, but I believe they have taken place, especially in North Wales. I think I did a very similar technique to this guiding line set up coming off Trevan.
The section opened at Leeming in 1989, but there's been a rescue team in the county for decades. They travel to the scene by road or by sea king, but they're not just called out to the mountains. 5 years ago, they helped evacuate passengers during the Greywig train derailment in Cumbria. And in 2009, they helped during the Cockermouth floods. They're also called to deal with aircraft crashes.
Well, each day you turn up to work, you don't know what you're going to face. It could be just a normal Monday to Friday, 8 till 5, normal working day. But then you turn up to work, you get the call from the ARCC, which is the Aeronautical Rescue Coordination Centre, and they could turn around and say, you've got a job in the lakes, missing person. And they're not knowing what's going to happen at the end of that day or where you're going to be at the end of the day, the excitement of it.
Aircraft crashes are thankfully rare, but they do happen. Last year, the team here from Leeming were called to help when one of the Red Arrows crashed in Bournemouth. So practising different scenarios is a vital part of the training. Every 2 or 3 weeks, the team are out in the field going through different scenarios. Their weekends are spent climbing and practising technical rescues in all the elements. But there are dozens of volunteers eager to train.
Just keeping up with the pace and the distance can be quite challenging at first. Climbing as well, you know, you're kind of thrown in at the deep end to do some stuff straight away, but it's really good. But on the tech rescue side, I mean, there's so much equipment to get to terms with. It's quite a lot to take in. But I mean, it's a great part of the world to be out and about anyway, so I tended to go out in the hills at weekends anyway, so why not do something where I actually learn and get something more out of it, really.
Leeming has one of 4 RAF rescue teams in the country. The others are at Valley, Lucas and Kinloss. They never know when they're going to be called out next, but there's no shortage of motivation or morale. Many have pride in what they do, and they know when the call comes, they'll be ready. Carla Prater, Forces News at RAF Leeming.